Hello my friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Novella. Today is Wednesday and that means a midweek check-in. So I'm sorry, my apologies for the last coffee clutch. That wasn't a normal coffee clutch. It was more of a kitty clutch, but I just received two kittens. One that was really in a horrible state and she passed away, unfortunately. And the other one that I now named Vita, because she's full of life, and La Vita è bella, and Vita suck veel west, of course. And yeah, I'm still bottle feeding her. I have to do that for at least another 6 weeks, or yeah, 5 weeks. And so my nights are very short. But anyway, I have to get up every 2 hours now because she's still so small and tiny. But unfortunately, I have my little assistant Muffin who does a wonderful job. She's such a good kitty mommy. Anyway, I have some books. I read Bloodbath Nation by Auster. Now, this is a non-fiction, and this is a very considered book. It's about mass killings throughout the United States. And it talks about his relationship with guns and the nation's relationship with guns. And yeah, for us, it's such weird phenomenon because guns are really not a thing in the rest of the world, actually. It's not something you would never give a gun to a child, for instance, or a 12-year-old, or to learn how to shoot and stuff like that. That's unheard of. So yeah, for me, it was an eye-opener. It also speaks about how a shooting, whether you are hurt or not, can have a long-lasting effect on your family for several generations. He also talks about that. And yeah, it's a really interesting, very considered, very thoughtful book. It is sort of a long essay, and it's full of pictures where people have been shot, like here, for instance, Marysville, Pilchuck High School, 24th of October, 5 deaths or 5 casualties, 3 wounded, stuff like that. So there are pictures all through with the amount of people shot, and throughout the last, since the year 2000s, last 20 years, and it's yeah, it's an eye-opener. It's really interesting. I really enjoyed it. Then I read this little book, The Heatwave by Victor Gestin. He's a French author. This is his debut. It's a novella. And this is a very, very divisive book. So you either love it or you hate it. I loved it, but I know a lot of people who absolutely think it's rubbish. And I loved it. I just could connect with the story. This is a story about a 17-year-old kid, and he has to go on a holiday with his parents. You know, as soon as you're 16, everything you have to do with your parents is too much to ask, and especially if it takes 3 weeks. So his parents and him and his little brother or sister, I can't remember anymore, they are on a camping site for about 3 weeks in south of France. And at the beginning he stays in his tent all the time. He's a bit of a goth, you know, emo boy. And a certain point there's a party at night, and he goes and checks it out, but he quickly goes away, and then he passes the playground, and on the playground there's a swing, and there's a boy who is hanging himself, and he does nothing to prevent it. Even worse, after the boy passed away, he buries the 14-year-old kid. And this story is about 48 hours before, while, and after the event. And yeah, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. Heatwave by French author Victor Gestin. Then I also read Jane Eyre by Charlotte Brontë. This is purely because Ollie from Criminali was so overwhelmed by it. He really loved it. I loved it. Well, I liked it very much. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. For me, it was a 4-star read, not a 5-star read. The story is very well known, so it's about a young girl who grows up in a school and has a very harsh time, and yeah, but she pulls through, and then she becomes a governess, and she has to go to a beautiful house where there's a little child that she adores, and she has a really good relationship with, and then the father is a bit of a cynic in a way, smug and cynic, and he really likes Jane Eyre, but he doesn't know how to go about it, so he courts somebody else just to make Jane Eyre jealous, but it doesn't go all too well, and then there are all sorts of stuff happening. I liked it. I thought it was very freshly told in the sense that it felt rather modern, more modern than, for instance, Emma by Jane Austen. So I really liked the pacing too. It's a book that you don't have to struggle through. It's not like Emma. Emma was a struggle for me. This is fun to read, just fun, and it was surprisingly light, and there was some humor in it, I thought, and yeah, I really liked it. But loving it was, don't know. But 4.5 stars. That's a good book. Now I'm currently reading a book that takes me ages to read because of the little one, the 200 grams one, which is not enough. It should be around 250 to 60, but it's not happening. So this is an old book. It was written in 1950 by Margaret Kennedy. This is a Dutch version, but it first came out as The Estates. The Estates, I like the concept. So it's a bit like Hitchcock likes to work. So this is the story about a hotel that is situated in a bay, and yeah, it's summer, it's high season, so people are coming, going, and you know as a reader that by the end of the summer holiday, the hotel will be vanished because there are cracks in the, not the bay, but the cliff above the hotel, and because of long periods of rain. And while the things that are happening in the hotel aren't really that interesting or not very trivial. But the fact that you know that this will happen makes it so compelling. And that's a trick that Hitchcock always used to use. He likes to put an ordinary situation and then something happens which makes the ordinary situation very tense. So he always said, imagine there's a bomb under a table in a train and two people are talking about the weather. If you don't know that there's a bomb, the thing is a boring conversation. But if you know that there's a ticking time bomb under that table, you can really feel that this meaningless discussion about the weather becomes very meaningful because of the weather, because of the ticking time bomb. And you just think of, oh, stop nagging about that little figurine that you wanted to buy and that some American woman has snatched away in front of you and you're really annoyed by it. It's like that, and it's really good and really gripping. At the beginning, there are a lot of people coming, and there are multiple rooms. There's a reverend. There are two sisters. You know what it's like in these sorts of situations. And yeah, it's really good, actually. I really like it. So it came out as The Estate in 1950, but it also had a different name, The Feast. But I don't think The Feast is a very good title for this book. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. I have a little Muffin and Vita video after this, so enjoy, and thank you for everything. Hello to the new subscribers, and hopefully I see you maybe Friday, but that's not a guarantee. I will try, but definitely Saturday morning. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye bye.